Okay guys, Geffin's back. Welcome back. The king of the amateurs has returned. I love you guys, appreciate you guys. I'm so glad to have you with me again. Welcome everybody. And tonight we've got the Seiko SLA047 J1. This is the Marinemaster green. Look at him. Get rid of it. For the beach. He is in the face, and feathers are retarded. Look at the fucking state of this watch. Absolutely retarded. I had to borrow it again from Mr. June. Big up Mr. June. What's up, Bob? Maximum respect. We swapped our Marinemasters over because we were both a bit bored of the fact that we don't have any new watches. So I've got this SLA, and, this laminated MDF isn't going to hurt the watch, but I like to put it on a towel out of respect for this masterful creation. So this is the SLA047J, a limited edition, but limited in the way that Seiko limits things. It's limited to 3,000 pieces, so not really limited. And this watch cost new 3,000 British pounds or 3,200 American pounds, so it's quite expensive. But Mr. June paid £1,700 for this watch in a almost mint condition. It's not quite mint, but I absolutely love it, and I love my blue one. But because this isn't mine, I love this one even more. What's different about it? Very little. But as we'll discover in the next few minutes, bros, appearances can deceive us. So, what can we start with? Tonight I don't have any notes. This is just for fun. So, I'll have a slap of this bud. Sorry, my American compadres who disown this beer, but I've always favoured it. So it's just what I drink. Anyway, got him on a green tropic tonight, £12.50 special. It's no worse than a true tropic. And it's a 44.3mm case here we're dealing with. But it's not really, because it wears like a 42. I think the bezel is 42.2mm or something. So that's what you're going to see. It's only because this slightly flared side of the case extends out to 44.3, but it's a thick bastard at 15.4mm of thickness, so he's a tall boy, just like my buddies are, but he's not too tall for me. And we have a 20mm lug spacing, which is quite great, and what is the lug to lug? The lug to lug is 51mm, I believe. You might measure it a bit differently, but it's 50 or 51, so it's not too long. Look at this case. It's like a beefcake. Look at it. Jesus Christ, bros. There's nothing like it in the world of watches. It's just a true marvel. I've tried to polish it, but there's a few smudges. Let me get Ed Hicks. Ed Hicks towels, nanofiber, a step above your usual micro. This is proper shit. Won't scratch your twerps. Anyway, guys, I digress. Where are we going to go from here? This is a beautiful dive watch from Seiko. All the design language points to its history. It is perfect in almost every way. We have a 300-meter water resistance, and this is a saturation diver's watch. So it's designed for saturation diving, but we won't wear it for that. It has a monocoque case, which means there's no case back that can be screwed off or prized off. Everything in this watch is stuffed in from the front, right up the front cunt. So don't worry about that. We have a screw-down crown, which is very nicely done, and it's here just about 10 to 4, not 4 o'clock. Sapphire crystal with an AR coating. Internal dome is featured. We have a 26 joule, 50 hour power reserve, 8L35B movement inside, which is a fantastic movement. It's the top tier of non-GS sports Seiko movements. 4R, 6R, 7S, not even once pro. This is something completely different. Although it's not regulated and it has a -10 to +15 seconds per day rating, I've handled 2 Marinemasters, and both of them, this one runs at about +1 and mine runs at about +3. So unless you're extremely unlucky, you should get something like that. Whatever it is, it should be under +5 and it shouldn't be minus anything. If it is, I would return it and get my money back and buy another one, because most of these things will run accordingly and the dude abides. Well, what else can we say? I mean, it's a hand-assembled movement. It's hand-assembled, and this is what you're kind of paying for here. I mean, at this £3,000 price point, what do you get? I mean, it's not a normal Seiko. It is not normal, but it is Seiko. It says Seiko on the dial. It doesn't say Grand Seiko, but it's a Seiko. But it's the top tier of Seiko, in between LX, GS, and Seiko. This is the top you're going to get. So you get this movement that is actually hand-assembled in the Grand Seiko studio in Morioka Island from our Hotori Payats. And it does have hand finishing on it. It's got MEMS technology, which I won't explain. It's even rhodium plated. This movement is not a joke. It's just a shame they don't regulate it in the factory. It's a great movement. But look at this dial. Look at it. Just look at that. It's inky green with a black bezel. This is a black ceramic bezel, which is zirconia ceramic insert. And I mean, if anything is pure pleasure, I can't explain the butteriness and the feeling of pure joy that this gives. This one actually turns a bit stiffer than my SLA023. It's strange. It's the same watch, but the bezel feels exactly the same. It's just so tactile. Honestly, I mean, I've got my Doxer on here, and these bezels are crazy, but it's just, I love this too, the Sub 300T, but it just doesn't feel anything close to the MMH. The Blas and the Payats feel, you can almost hear the butter. It's just amazing. It really is. I just don't know why it's so good. The only thing that's a bit worrying is this unprotected loom triangle, but you know, as long as we're careful with him, he should last a lifetime. The brushwork, tops of the lugs are brushed. I mean, it needs no explanation really. Just something out of the spaghetti box. Look at this. This is the lauded Zaratsu polish, which everyone bangs on about. But you're not going to get Zaratsu polishing on a Seiko unless it's this one. This is a technique that is perfected by artisans in the Seiko world. It only features on the top of the flank here. This bottom half is not Zaratsu polish as far as I'm aware. The mid case is brushed, but it's just incredible. Drilled lugs, of course. Zaratsu polishing is done on some kind of Zaratsu machine, which is a tin plate that spins very fast, and these little freaks from Japan spend years rubbing metal on it before they're deemed good enough to perform this task on our twaps. But the result is a watch that reflects every kind of light in the spectrum. I mean, as you're driving along in your car, you'll probably crash because you'll be looking at how everything you drive past is perfectly reflected. I mean, you could probably even see me. There I am. What an ugly cunt. it's insane. I've had polished watches, Swiss watches, nothing compares to that. Thick, chunky bezel, and it's just a pure pleasure to the touch. We've got the handset of the Marinemaster here. Now this is my personal favourite handset of all time. So freaky, bros. Feathers everywhere. It is for the beach. Look at it. Trying to zoom in. I don't have a macro camera, I just have a phone, but it is insane. And the loom is mental. Absolutely mental. Quasar loom. Absolutely ridiculous. It's like an imploding black hole spitting out radioactive photons into your face. In the face! There's nothing else like it. And what do you get with this watch? Well, I've got him on this Tropic tonight, but it does come with this bellows accordion style green Seiko strap with the beautiful buckle here, beveled and polished and brushed, and a lovely Tang and buckle, and then you get the Seiko Marinemaster bracelet, which everyone complains about except me and several other people that I love. It is not a bad bracelet. It's a 2-piece masquerading as a 3-piece. We know that. But, you know, it's got an on-the-fly extension which is superlative. It's not the prettiest, but it does have a pressed shell. But it's what they do, and they don't care what you think. I mean, the Hattori family are a closed community, and they won't listen to anybody. I would like to see this with a fully milled out scenario. You've got 4 micros here, which you don't really need. But it's a great bracelet, and it looks fantastic on the watch. I love these bracelets. I don't know why everyone slags them off, to be quite honest with you. One more slap. So that's it, really. I just wanted to show off this fine warlord. Oh, and of course, the wrist shot, which is the money shot, and I should have done it at the beginning. I thought I'd got clever and started to learn about what people actually want to see. But let's put him on. Look at this. Just look! Shut the fuck up, bros. Look at the fucking state. Mr. George, Tyler, Terence Craig, Paul, everybody, if I don't mention you, you're all maximum respect. Full salutes are bestowed upon you all. This watch is just out of the spaghetti tree. Mr. June, get on with it and buy the 033. We need it now. Mr. June's in the process of selling all his lower end Seikos in the hope of buying an SLA Willard. But there's one on eBay that's been sitting there fishing for months. No one wants to buy it. £3,000. Come on, Mr. June. Get on with it. But there you go, guys. Look at that. What a pleasure. Pleasure to behold. Let's try and do a double shot. There he is with the doxer. Absolutely proper, guys. For the page. And in the face. Keep all feathers retarded. Gethin will try and keep pumping out content, regurgitating shit, just to keep you interested. I'm sorry if I haven't got anything new, but, no one sends me anything. And I'm trying, bros. In the meantime, stay freaky, never give up. Look at the monocoques. Absolutely great. Love you guys. That's what's up.